Hey guys, this is JSer. How's everything going? In this video, I'm going to try to explain what is closure is to myself. Hope it helps. And so what is closure? Closure is actually a function that can access the variable outside of it, right? So which we usually do is define a variable and wrap it and return a function. So the variable can only be accessed through that function, but not somewhere outside the function. So it's used could be used for some data encapsulation. So basically, all JavaScript in all functions in JavaScript are closures. So how does it work? Well, the first concept we need to understand is about code blocks, right? Code blocks like the block here, or function, or if, or for while loop, they create scopes. And for variable within the block, actually a variable is actually a property of a scope that is called lexical environment. I'll say it's scope. So the verb, let's say the variable let phrase equals hello is actually a property of the environment, lexical environment, right? This environment, every scope has its every scope. This is scope. Each scope has a lexical environment, and the variables are attached to that environment. And for each environment, has a outer link to the outer environment. Like the scope, outside of the scope, there might be another scope. So another scope will have its own lexical environment. So thus we created a lexical environment chain. It's just something similar to the prototype chain, right? Now, when a function is executed, we try to access a variable, right, with a name, with a property name. At first, you will try to retrieve the data from the lexical environment of itself. But if it's not is there, it will try to search that property in the outer lexical scope, and then doing this over and over again until there's no no more outer scope, outer lexical environment. So this is how the data is accessed to within a function. This reminds us when we are doing something like recursion, rather than we set a global variable and access it deeply, rather we could just pass down the reference right down with a variable, so that we could avoid searching through the lexical environment chain. So it actually might save us a little time. Cool. So that's actually closure. The key point is that when the data is not in its own lexical environment, it will try to access the data through the outer lexical environment. So that's closure. And we can return, because function could be treated as not only function declaration, but also function expression. So the function could be treated as a value and then passed to here or there. And within this function, it has with its own lexical environment attached, but also the outer environment, lexical environment, will be all still accessible, so that we can return a function, and this function could also access the outer environment no matter where it is. So that's closure. That's cool. And that's it. So a little more is about a garbage collection. Suppose we're doing something like this, because the f actually is this function. The function actually has this lexical environment with a value, but the value is not there. It will try to access the outer value. So this g, when g is there, this f lexical scope cannot be garbage collected. But if there is no value, like something like okay, so this is it. If g is recycled, and then f will be recycled, the lexical environment will be recycled. And for something like this, the JavaScript engine will try to understand if the variable in the outer scope, a lexical environment, are really used or not in the function within this lexical environment, right? For the case here, actually the value is defined in the outer lexical scope, but it is not used in this G. So actually, when this function is called, f is called, it is sure that no one will access the scope environment anymore. So the browser will actually GC this part, GC this lexical environment here. So you'll see when you stop here and try to access value, actually it's not there. Well, but it's browser optimization. Okay, come back to our question. What is closure? One more time. A closure is a function that remembers outer side variables and I can access them. So how would that work? It works because the functions have its own lexical environment, and in the lexical environment have access to the outer parent lexical environment. So when we access the data, access a variable, it will try to access it through the lexical environment chain, just like the prototype chain. And so that's how a function could remember its outer variable and can access them. Yeah, that's it. So hope it helps. See you next time. Bye bye.